We are obviously in a universe and on a globe that contains unimaginable beauty and ugliness. We are all, most of us, I guess I should say, people who've experienced acts of generosity and kindness in which, in the spirit of Jacob the patriarch in the Torah, we say, I've seen the face of God. And we've also stared at Auschwitz. We've also seen children that clinicians say have been hopelessly abused. What a terrible thing to have to say about a 3-year-old. But they're tracks on the mind, and they are not likely to be removed. I can wake up in the morning of a beautiful day and be at home in the world and the universe and think, what a wonderful, wonderful world. And the phone rings and a best friend has been diagnosed with a malignancy and will die soon. Everyone alive is thrown in the midst of these. From my colleague David Tracy, I learned that 3 words govern everything: finitude, contingency, and transience. I'll translate them. Finitude, you're going to die. Dr. Lewis Thomas, head of a great cancer clinic, would go around and say, our culture denies death. You better not. There's an awful lot of it going around these days. None of the 6-7 billion here will be here 120 years from now, or 140 if we extend life. Contingency, accidents happen. A very good person gets hit by a car. The house burns. An earthquake swallows them. Transience, things move on. So when people are religious, they are religious fully knowing that, and then they come to faith and hope and love. But they never get over the problem of, if I say God is the agent of the beautiful and the good, then why is the evil present? The simple answer is no one knows. And most sacred books don't give much of an answer. The closest you come are to the dualist religions, in which there's a good God and a bad God. But when you back up, you'd say, well, how did there get to be a bad God or a good one? In the prophetic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, you don't get an answer. The first chapter of the book of Genesis doesn't answer it. It says the serpent was very subtle. The snake was very subtle and speaks up for the tempter and the evil one. How did it get that way? In the New Testament, there's one little passage about a war in heaven, and Michael slays the dragon. These are so marginal to what the Bible is about that we might as well toss them away. The Bible simply treats us as thrown into a world of mystery in which we try to make sense of it. Now, all the religions deal with it. All the religions deal with suffering. All the religions deal with evil. Buddhism has its own answer. I'm not the best person to give that answer, but in a sense, there's a holy emptiness and a void, and you want to get out of contingency into it. For Judaism, you want shalom with a God whose basic mark is chesed, steadfast love. Bad things will happen, but God says, I'll be with you. The New Testament, the same kind of thing. Nothing will separate you from the love of God in Christ. Neither life, nor death, nor angels, nor whatever. They all try to show you ways to deal with it. But I think the wonder of religion is that locked into its affirmative books are books like the book of Job, who suffers so, the prophet Habakkuk, who asks eternally why. And I think I would prefer to live in a universe in which that remains a question mark than trying to sound smart enough to figure out what none of the sages yet have.